Hey everybody, Matthew Solomon here, and I'm on a walk at night, which I do, and chewing gum, so you'll have to excuse that. But I'm getting hit with something and I need to share it, and I want to share it and I want to get it out because it's really important, and I'm hoping that it is valuable for you. Context. We are all living within a context that we have created for ourselves, and our context is decisive. Our context dictates the way everything shows up for us based on our past experiences, the experiences and perceptions and expectations of our parents and whoever raised us and people who influenced us early in our lives, the experiences we've had, the experiences we continue to have are all filtered and are our context. And we have chosen it. With any of us, there are, circumstances that happen and we assign meaning to it. And, it can be anything. It can be, I had somebody that I knew who parents divorced when she was really young. Father was not a nice person. Mother was always broke. She decided, I am never going to have money issues, and she has been fine. Another friend of mine, similar thing, didn't have a dad, issues with his mom, very easily could have been a drug addict himself or ended up in jail. Never been broke, raising great kids. Context is decisive. Other people, stuff happens, and you spend the rest of their lives addicted to alcohol or drugs or something, never have enough money. For me, I grew up in a fine house, fine family, everything was great. My grandparents were Holocaust survivors, and my grandmother would always say, life is hard. That was a context. And what she went through, yeah, that's hard. Context is decisive. So are you in a jail of your mind and things will only ever show up the way that, that you've said they would? No, you can choose your context. You can change your context at any time. You can make a new choice. But you have to realize first that you're in a context, you're in a construct of your mind that you have created. And once you get that and take responsibility for that and say, yeah, I created this. I'm not talking about blame. I'm not talking about anything bad. I'm just saying, no, I created this as a survival mechanism. I've talked about this before. In 4th grade through 7th grade, in my Hebrew school experience, I was tormented because I like to raise my hand and have the right answer. So the context was, it's not safe to put myself out there. It's not safe to be successful, to show off. If I'm not good enough, people aren't going to like me. If I'm too good, people aren't going to like me. So I have to kind of stay in the middle. And if I get too big, I have a crisis show up. Like I did tonight, by the way. I had all my, expenses squared away, and then PayPal hit me with an expense that I hadn't authorized because I was supposed to cancel something that I thought I did that I didn't, and I was like, oh shit. So the context I've been in is, crises show up, and I'm responsible for that, and I've been creating that. So what do? You choose a new context. You choose a new way of being. You make a new decision for how your life's going to go, and you do the work to reaffirm that and reaffirm that and reaffirm that. And that shows up as affirmations. It shows up as monitoring your thoughts. But the thing that I wanted to share is meditation and why that's so important. And I have a good friend who's a dating coach, Jonathan Ashley, who he posted this thing, I think it was today, asking, because he wasn't sure, he's like, what's the divine masculine what's the divine masculine thing and the I forget what the divine feminine and the sacred masculine. What is the divine feminine and the sacred masculine? Because he had just heard that and didn't know what that was. And so there is what the definitions of those are, but what I started contemplating was, why does that exist, those terms? It's to elevate us, to take us to another level, a higher state of being, of how we see ourselves and how we see other people. It's like in yoga, when you say namaste at the end, it's the higher self, the highest part of me, my higher self sees and acknowledges your higher self. We are not dealing with each other on, who stole my parking space and, my cable bills due and all of that. No, we are beings. We are spiritual, big, powerful spiritual beings that are all part of a connected consciousness. And when we remember that, when we connect with that energy and assume that energy, we can move mountains. So in meditation, you're talking about, the sacred masculine, divine feminine. I remember, 15 or so years ago when I was married, and my wife and I were doing all kinds of spiritual work, and the women started talking about goddess energy. They were goddesses. We're goddesses. Goddess cards and having goddess circles and all of that. Because it elevates them. It elevates you women to who you rightfully are. Men, I'm so privileged and honored to be part of a martial arts community that teaches virtue, teaches like being a warrior, teaches loyalty and integrity and how to elevate ourselves in the face of battle, which could show up as somebody trying to punch you, or it could show up as parenting or getting through life or work stuff or whatever. But the stuff that we would do in our training, the stuff that we would do behind closed doors to elevate ourselves, not to make ourselves bigger, but to reconnect with who we really are. And when you do that, you see bigger actions to take. You see openings that you wouldn't see. You see ways of getting through life, being in life, moving through life that serve you, that benefit you, that bring about the life that you want for yourself and those around you. And not only are you relating to another person as a divine feminine, sacred masculine, I love this in the African American community especially. I see this where the women refer to their men as kings and the men refer to their women as queens. When I am referring to a woman as my queen, it's not just for her to hear me say she's my queen. It's for me to elevate my listening of her, because that's how I'm hearing her. That's how I'm relating to her. That's who she is for me. And if that's who she is for me and who I am for her, awesome. So I encourage you to take a look at the stuff that's showing up in your life. How does it occur for you? What is the context you've been living in? And you can see it in the patterns, like something good happens, something bad happens, whatever. Make a choice of how you want things to be, and then get quiet and get real clear on who do you have to be, who do you get to be to transform that, and then start moving from there. All right, thank you very much. Please visit coachwithmatthewsolomon.com. I would love to have a free 30-minute coaching session for you. Recorded a daily gratitude audio recording that's got that for you. I would love to connect. I hope this has been of benefit to you. Please like and share and comment and all of that. And yeah, do something great for yourself, because you are.